Let me tell you about something that happened in Florida. It's not a ghost story, it's not a thriller, it's just something that happened. Something that broke a family, something that left a young man in a suitcase in an empty field. It started with a suitcase. Not the kind you take to the beach, not the kind you pack with clothes and zip up while you're running late for a flight. This one was just sitting there in a place called the Compound. That's a big empty area in Palm Bay, Florida. No houses, no stores, no people, just dirt, trees, weeds, and a kind of silence that feels wrong. The kind of silence that makes the hair on your arms stand up. Nobody goes to the Compound for fun. You go there if you want to be alone, or if you want to hide something you never want found. On March 28th, someone saw vultures, lots of them, circling low over one spot. If you know anything about vultures, you know that's not a good sign. They don't circle for exercise. They circle because something is dead or dying. When police got there, they saw the suitcase. It was lying on the ground like someone had dropped it and walked away. It wasn't even fully closed. And the smell, I'm not going to describe it much because that wouldn't be fair to the person inside, but it was strong. The kind of smell that hits the back of your throat before you even see anything. They opened it. Inside was a man, or what was left of him. That's how they found Colie Lee Daniel. He was 28 years old, and someone had put him in a suitcase and left him for the birds. Before I continue, there's something important you should know. Right now, your personal information could be online. Your name, your phone number, even your home address, being sold without you knowing. That's where Incogni comes in. Incogni helps remove your data from those websites automatically, so strangers can't access it. It's simple, safe, and saves you a lot of stress. If you want to protect your privacy, check the link in the description or pinned comment and try Incogni today. Now let's get back to the story. That suitcase broke something open. Not just the zipper, the whole case. Inside the second suitcase, because there was a second one nearby, police found an Amazon package, a cardboard box, and on that box was a name, Lucas Sander Jones. That one detail, a shipping label, that gave them a direct lead. Just like that, the investigation had a suspect, a 19-year-old kid. But here's the thing that hurts. Just days before that suitcase was found, someone had already gone missing, and people were already looking for him. Let me go back a little, because this story isn't just about a crime, it's about a family, a mother and father who knocked on a door and were told no. Colie Lee Daniel was 28 years old. I don't know much about his life before all this. I don't know if he was kind or difficult or funny or quiet, but I know he was someone's son, someone's friend. He had a face, he had a laugh. He had a way of existing in the world that made him real. On March 20th, Colie went to visit a house. That house belonged to Lucas Jones. They lived close to each other. Maybe they knew each other. Maybe they didn't. We don't know exactly why Colie went there that evening, but surveillance footage shows him arriving around evening time. He walked in, and after that, he never walked out. So that same night, Collie's parents got worried. You know how parents are. If their son doesn't come home and doesn't call, something in their chest starts to ache. They can feel it before they even know it. So they went to Lucas Jones's house. They knocked on the door. Lucas answered. He was just a kid, 19, still a teenager. But when Collie's parents asked if they could see their son, Lucas said no. He wouldn't let them inside. He closed the door. Think about that for a moment. Standing on a stranger's doorstep, knowing your son is somewhere in there, and being told no. That kind of no, that feels like a wall. That kind of no, that makes your heart beat faster because now you're scared in a way you can't explain. The parents left, but they didn't stop. They called the police. Police came to the house to check on Colie. Lucas answered again. He looked different this time. He had bruises on his body, red marks. He looked tired, not just sleepy tired, but tired in his bones. The kind of tired that comes from doing something you can never take back. He was nervous. His hands might have been shaking. We don't know for sure, but we can guess. The police looked around. They didn't see Colie. They didn't have enough evidence to search the whole house, so they left. They didn't know that Colie was already gone. or that he was still in that house in a form no one would want to see. Here's where it gets even heavier. Lucas had a girlfriend. She wasn't there that night, but he called her. She said later that something felt wrong immediately. His voice was different. He asked her to come over, and he told her to bring cleaning supplies. Cleaning supplies. Let that sink in. You get a call from your boyfriend late at night. He sounds strange. He says bring bleach or paper towels or trash bags. What do you think? What do you feel? She must have felt something cold go down her back, but she went anyway. When she arrived, Lucas told her, "Just go inside and don't say anything." She walked in, and she saw blood on the floor and black spray paint on the walls. The paint was probably to cover up the blood, but it didn't work. Nothing covers that up. Not really. She knew then. She didn't want to know, but she knew. Something terrible had happened in that house. Lucas didn't tell her everything right away, but soon after he loaded large black suitcases and other containers into her car. She helped him. Maybe she was scared. Maybe she loved him and didn't know what else to do. Our fear does strange things to people. Love does even stranger things. Later that night, around 2:30 in the morning, her car was seen driving toward the compound, that empty, silent place. The car went there more than once, back and forth, like they were making sure they didn't leave anything behind. At one point, Lucas told her to turn off the location on her phone. He didn't want anyone tracking them. He thought he was being smart. He thought he could erase everything. But you can't erase a person. You can't put a human being in a suitcase and make them disappear. Their absence stays, their name stays, their parents' broken hearts stay. Eventually, Lucas told his girlfriend the truth. He said, "I killed somebody." Just like that. 4 words that change everything. He said he attacked Colie. He said he used tools. He didn't say which ones. But investigators later found evidence. And then he put the body into suitcases. He said he did it because Colie was a registered sex offender. Lucas had printed a list of offenders in the area. He had been looking at it, thinking about it. Maybe he thought he was doing something good. Maybe he thought he was protecting people. Maybe he told himself that made it okay. But here's the thing about that. Even if Colie had done terrible things in his past, and I don't know if he did or not, I don't know his story, he was still a human being. He still had parents who loved him. And no 19-year-old gets to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner. That's not justice. That's just another kind of violence. And here's the other thing. Lucas wasn't some hardened criminal. He was a kid, 19 years old. So he had marks on his body from whatever happened that night. Maybe Colie fought back, maybe Lucas hurt himself, we don't know. But he looked tired. He looked scared. He tried to cover it up, and he failed. Because about a week later, Lucas tried to control his girlfriend. He told her what to say to the police. He tried to build a fake story. He thought if he just got the words right, he could avoid getting caught. But by then, the police already had the surveillance footage. They had the Amazon package. They had her statement. Everything was connecting. On March 31st, the medical examiner confirmed the remains were Colie Lee Daniel. They said his death was a homicide. They said he suffered serious injuries before he died. I won't describe them. It doesn't matter. What matters is that he didn't just die, he was killed. By someone young enough to be his little brother. Lucas Sander Jones was arrested. He was charged with murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a dead body. He's being held without bail. He's 19 years old. His life, whatever it was going to be, is over now. Even if he gets out someday, he'll never be the same. He'll carry this forever. And Colie's parents, those parents who knocked on a door and were turned away, they will carry this forever too. They will never stop wondering if they could have done something more. If they had just pushed harder, knocked louder, called the police sooner, would their son still be alive? That's the worst part of grief, the questions that never stop. This case shocked a lot of people, not because of the blood or the suitcases or the vultures, but because of how small and sad it all was. A teenager, a missing man, a suitcase left in the middle of nowhere, and in the end, it wasn't the remote location that exposed the truth. It was one small mistake, an Amazon package. Left behind, Just like that, everything he tried to hide was found. I don't know why I'm telling you this story. Maybe because it's easy to read about something like this and feel nothing, to scroll past it, to think, that's sad, and then check your phone for something else. But Colie was real. He had a favorite food. He had a way of laughing that annoyed his mom. He had dreams that never came true, and now he's gone, and all that's left is a suitcase in an empty field and a 19-year-old who made the worst decision of his life. There's no lesson here. No moral that wraps up neatly, just pain, just sorrow. Just a reminder that people break other people in ways that can never be fixed. And sometimes the only thing left behind is a cardboard box with a name on it. That's the story. I'm sorry it doesn't have a happy ending. Most real stories don't.